Ben here with Olson's Hi-Fi. It is April 7th, 2020, and we are in the middle of the COVID-19, shelter-in-place order here in Washington State. So I'm in isolation. I am isolating here at the store, and I am isolating with this Evo 100 integrated amp by Prima Luna. So not a bad partner to isolate with. And so this review of sorts, isn't it? It's not a review. I'm not going to get into, the manufacturer's spec sheet or other things that don't tell you how it sounds. What I'm getting into is my listening impression. And so I always think it's, interesting when people, just don't know why something doesn't sound like it measures on the spec sheet. And I'm just trying to imagine going to a liquor store and asking, okay, hey, I'm interested in this scotch. Let me see the engineering specs on it. They would say, are you high? Okay, wrong question for this industry. They'd be like, are you bent? And, it is. It's silly. You got to hear this stuff. There's nothing on the spec sheets that are going to tell you how this sounds. It's purely, how it sounds when you hear it, and how it interacts with your speakers, how it interacts with the room, and trying it out. So when mentioning the liquor store, that puts scotch on the brain. I guess as a comparison, I could say Solid State is like a Highlander style scotch, okay? Which would make this Prima Luna tube amp a Speyside, with a little bit of bite and spiked with MDM, okay? And so what I mean by that is the sound out of this is very warm and liquid, very in the room. And so at the same time that I mentioned that it's so warm and liquid, I will say that it has a very airy, smooth, in the room treble, kind of a mid-bass treble response compared to other speakers. So the gear that we've been playing with here, of course, you saw the R7s have been on here. These aren't, tiny little speakers or bookshelves, and this amp drives these like a champ. But we had the Monitor Audio Gold 300s on these, and anything with the AMT style tweeter is just got a synergy with these amps that is really nice. And so if you're a fan of the AirMotion Transformer style tweeter, you got to give Prima Luna a try. Tubes a try for sure, but give Prima Luna a shot, because there isn't another tube amp that has the slam that these have. Not anywhere near this price point, anyways. The dynamics that this amp has. This thing is lively. It's got a lower end and plenty of kick. It's just fun to listen to. A couple of times it does add a little bit of bottom end to stuff. And a couple of times I thought, is the subwoofer on? And it's not an unbalanced, tubby bottom end. It's just presence. And so it's very nice. But do not take my word for it. Come down to Olson's Hi-Fi. And if you're so bent that you need spec sheets after you've heard it, I will give those to you, okay? But I appreciate you watching the video. Stay weird, Olson's Hi-Fi.